Hello friends, I am Shivaji Bhaskar, Faculty of Russian at the School of Foreign Languages, IGNOU. I welcome you all to this module of the course Basics of Russian Communication Skills Part 1. As you know that in our previous modules, we have discussed about the Russian alphabet, various letters of the Russian alphabet, and then we differentiated them as consonants, vowels or sign. We have also seen that how these different letters are combined together to have a specific sound, and then we have also seen various combinations of these letters as vowel and consonants and consonants and vowels. And then as a process, we have seen that all these letters are combined to make certain words. And as you know, as per the concept of udarenie or the stress, which always falls on a vowel, as well as the role of intonation. So, these are the various concepts which we have talked about in our previous modules. Now, in this module, we will be talking about certain other issues related to the Russian phonetics. So, we will be having set of certain other letters, and we will be learning about certain other words and expressions. So, here we have a few words with us. The first one is noj. Noj. If you remember that we have also talked about voicing and devoicing of the consonants, this is exactly a case where you can see the slight change in the sound of the letter r. It is being changed into sh. How? Please pay attention when I am pronouncing the word noj. 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 So, at the end, instead of r, the sound is of sh. Likewise, we have another word muj. 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 There also you can identify the sound at the end is of sh. However, the end letter in this particular word is of r. But since it belongs to the voicing and devoicing concept, that is why you can see this change here. Now, similarly, we have another word etage. Etage. Here you can also see the change in the sound, and likewise you have the last word is loshka. Loshka. Here you can also see the sound of r is being changed into sh. Now, let us learn the meaning of these words one by one. Noj means knife, muj means husband, etage means floor, loshka means spoon. And if you pay attention to the particular place where udarenie or the stress sign is falling, it has to be only on vowels. So, noj on o, muj on u, etage on a, and loshka on o. So, I hope that you understood the basic concept here of voicing and devoicing of the consonants, as well as you have seen how different letters, whether they are vowels or consonants, play an important role in the formation of words. All right, now we will do certain exercises where we will have combination of certain letters. So, as you can see them, please pay attention while I am pronouncing. I, oi, ui, a. Here you can see certain other vowels have been used with e kratki, and the sound of these expressions are coming like I, oi, ui, a, which means that udarenie or the stress sign is on the vowel. Okay? So, let us see some of the words here. They are interesting words, as you will always find them very oftenly used in your day-to-day communication, like my, muzye, moi. My means may, muzye means museum, and moi means my. All right. So, very similarly, my, which means may, but at the same time we have moi, which means my. So, there is a difference between the Russian my, which means may, but at the same time if you use English my, for that in Russian we have moi. Alright. Please keep these important information in your mind in order to communicate in Russian properly. So, we have a new set of words with us. Here you can see, and please pay attention when we are using these new words. After doing this exercise, we will see that we have certain set of words which we are going to use very oftenly, like tvoi, sinny, malenki, ruski. So, here we have tvoi, which means yours, sinny means blue color, malenki means small, and ruski means Russian. That is why when we translate Russian language, we say Ruski Yazyk, and Yazyk means language, as well as we can also use Yazyk for tongue. Okay? You will find many such examples in our next modules, so that you can not only learning a language, you are also knowing about variety of such words, where some of the time you have one word which means more than 1, 2, 3 types of expressions, and many expressions which actually indicate same or single process. Alright, so let us go ahead and pay attention to these new words. We have maladoy, galuboy, drugoy, and daragoy. Maladoy means young, galuboy means sky blue, drugoy means other, and daragoy means dear. If you pay attention to the last one, the word is daragoy. Alright. However, we have used O multiple times, but since we already know the process of udarenie or the stress sign, when it falls onto a particular vowel, the sound rises, as in the case of O, the sound of the vowel where the stress is there would be higher, and if it is O, then the sound of other vowels which are not under stress would change into A. That is why daragoi. Alright. Okay. Now, let us go ahead and let us look at these new words. Новый, старый, красивый, добрый. Новый means new, старый means old, красивый means beautiful, and добрый means kind. Here again you can pay attention to the particular vowels where the stress is falling onto certain vowels. That is why the sound of these words are coming like новый, старый, красивый, добрый. So, that is why whenever and wherever the stress is falling on that vowel, the sound is higher at that side, whereas on the other side it is going lower. So, новый, старый, красивый, and добрый. Alright, I hope these kind of pronunciations, with the help of certain clarity of the concepts which we have just taught, is clear to you now. Now, we will be having a few more such words with us. Let us see. Alright, so the first one is модный, красный, иностранный, трудный. Same case here again, you can see that the stress is falling onto a particular vowel. That is why the sound of such vowel is higher, whereas the pronunciation of the word is coming like модный, красный, иностранный, and трудный. Let us go back to the previous part and once again revise these new words. Новый means new, Stary means old, krasivy means beautiful, and dobry means kind. I would also like to discuss one important aspect of the language here, that all these endings which you have just seen in the previous part, so these are ending with I and I kratki. Same is the case that we have a variety of other adjective endings where you have ending with I and I kratki. Alright, so depending upon the particular consonant which is helping the word in formation, we have a technique to identify the ending of the adjectives. So in case of novi, since it is the masculine ending, so you can use one noun also with novi. For example, dom. Dom you already know means house. Novi dom means new house. Stari, you can use drug. Drug means friend. Stari drug, old friend. Krasivi means beautiful. So you already know city means Gorod in Russian. So krasivi Gorod means beautiful city. And dobry. Dobry means kind, it's an adjective. So dobry, kind, for example, person, a kind person. So dobry chilavek. These kind of small expressions, sentences you can also make yourself, and with this kind of creativity you can also form small texts. For example, if you want to make a small text like Eta novi dom, okay, then we have certain concepts in Russian which is known as case systems. So you can use certain other case systems. You definitely going to be learning about them in our upcoming modules, but just for information so that you prepare yourself in advance, I would like to tell you all that you can very easily prepare your own small text with the help of all these new words, as well as in this case you have these adjectives. So adjective plus one noun of the same gender, you can prepare small sentences, and with the help of small sentences you can prepare small text. Okay, now let's go ahead and see. So we have modny, krasny, inostranny and trudny. For example, inostranny. Inostranny means foreign. So you can use yazyk. Inostranny yazyk means foreign language. Ruski yazyk, inostranny yazyk. Russian is a foreign language. So these kind of sentences you can also think of and prepare yourself. And the last one is trudny, difficult. Likewise, we had modny means fashionable and krasny means red. If you pay attention that we are not only learning words, we are also making a kind of pattern where you have some similar things, words, expressions which come in a context. For example, in this module itself we have done 3 different words belongs to colors. We have done sinny, we have done krasny, which means that sinny is blue and krasny is red. Likewise, we have chorny means black, beli means white. So these kind of sentences you can also make with the help of these kind of words in a form of adjective or noun later, in the sense that you can also make your own small conversational dialogues. So I would like to recommend you all to keep on writing all these special concepts along with these new words and expressions in your notebooks, so that when after the module you can discuss it with your family and friends and start communicating in Russian efficiently. Alright, now let's look at this important word here. It is a very important word of the Russian language because this particular word is going to be used very oftenly. It is known as pожалуйста, pожалуйста, which means please. So this can be used in many other contexts. Пожалуйста. So whenever we say spasiba, spasiba. In place of spasiba, pожалуйста can also be used. Okay, so пожалуйста may also be used in response to the expression spasiba. For example, if you are helping somebody and the person is saying spasiba, you can say пожалуйста. Okay, so in that case you have to understand the context and then you can use пожалуйста or spasiba. And you already know that пожалуйста means please and spasiba means thank you. So now, as we have been discussing about the certain roles of letters, words, expressions in day-to-day communication Russian. So here now we are going to prepare some of the important word combinations. Please pay attention to these word combinations, and I am sure that you will identify all these words since we have already done in our previous module. Now we are going to make small expressions. So moi you already know means my, and brat you already know means brother. So when I am combining moi with brat, it means my brother, moi brat. But another thing that we will discuss in details in our upcoming modules is the gender in Russian language. So normally we have seen that in languages we use he or she, but in Russian we use he, she and it, and we define them as on means he, ana means she, and ano means it. Alright, so if you remember that we have been discussing certain concepts where letters, combination of letters, formation of words, and then now we are going to define them with the help of these different combinations where we will make certain small expressions. So as you already know that in Russian we have done many such words. I am sure that you will be able to identify them. Here in this case we have moi, which means my, and brat, which means brother. So it becomes moi brat or my brother. Likewise we have moi drug, moi papa, tvoi dom, tvoi stol and tvoi karandash. As you already remember, all of these words we have done in our previous modules. So let's see what does it mean. Moi brat, my brother, moi drug, my friend, moi papa, my dad, moi karandash, my pencil, or you can also use tvoi karandash or your pencil. So moi means my, tvoi means yours. So tvoi dom, your dome or your house. Tvoi stol, it means your table. Tvoi karandash means your pencil. So now we are learning how to denote. So moi and tvoi, that we will start with, and then in our upcoming modules we will take you further to new such concepts where you will learn about more such pronouns. Alright, now let's go ahead. Here we will see certain examples. For example, we have simple sentences and then we are making interrogative and affirmative. So, eta tvoi dom, eta tvoi dom, the eta moi dom. Here in the beginning I said eta tvoi dom, this is your house. But when I am interrogating or asking a question, so as per the concept which we have learned in the previous modules, the pitch will go higher at the end because I am asking a question. So, eta tvoi dom. Okay, likewise, eta vaš drug. So, you have to keep this concept clear in your mind in order to ask the question with the same kind of a pitch which rises at the end. So, let us repeat once again. Это твой дом. And now I am going to answer. Да, это мой дом. And if you remember, while using the, as per rules, we have to have a small pause and then complete the sentence with a flat sound. So, это твой дом. Да, это мой дом. And then in a short form, you can also say, instead of это мой дом, you can say да, это мой, or simply да мой. Да мой. Alright, I hope this concept is clear. Now let's go to the next sentence. If you look at the previous part, here we have this sentence, это ваш друг. Now I am going to ask the question. Это ваш друг? Да, это наш друг. Да, наш. So here if you pay attention to the changing of твой into мой, ваш into наш, мой into твой, you will see that it is being used as somebody is asking and you are answering. So, the use of personal pronouns. Okay. So, now let us go ahead and look at a few more such examples. Это твой карандаш? Да, это мой карандаш. Да, мой. And the next sentence is, это ваша бабушка? Да, это наша бабушка. Да, наша. So here we are going to discuss about genders in Russian language. So in Russian language we have three genders: masculine, feminine and neuter. For masculine we have on or he. For feminine we have ana, means she, and for neuter we have ano, which means it. And likewise, whenever we are using adjective, noun, personal pronoun, these kind of things also changes as per the gender. So that is why when you have a noun, for example, dom, which means house, if I want to use an adjective for my noun, which is dom in this case, the adjective could be большой, маленький, старый, новый. Большой means big, большой дом, big house, маленький дом, small house, старый дом, old house, новый дом, new house. Likewise, here you have just seen that we have used a feminine gender noun here, babushka, a very popular word in Russian. Babushka means grandmother. So here in place of nash or vash, we are going to use ваша. Это ваша бабушка? Да, это наша бабушка. So when we are saying ваша бабушка, your, alright, your grandmother, then I am saying да, это наша бабушка. Yes, this is ours, ours grandmother. Да, наша, yes, ours. So these kind of expressions are very important in order to denote, to signify the possession. So now we are going to use это ваш брат? Да, это мой брат. Да, мой. Да, это наш брат. Да, наш. So these kind of examples are very important in order to understand clearly how to prepare, how to form new simple sentences based on the vocabulary, based on the exercises, based on the modules information which you have got, so that you will be able to communicate in Russian properly. So my suggestion and the recommendation is that you please note down all such words and expressions, all important information which has been given to you from time to time, so that you make no mistake at all while understanding the grammatical part as well as the phonetic part of the Russian language, because as in the beginning we have discussed, all four components in the language learning are important, whether it is reading, writing, listening or speaking. So that is why we have been telling you to use the information, the concepts, the grammatical information, phonetical information precisely as it has been given to you, so that while using this vocabulary by yourself, we want you to make your own sentences so that you can think creatively. Alright, now let's go ahead and look at a few more such examples. Here you will see that we have certain vowels like ya, ye, yo and you. Here we are going to combine it with certain consonants like ma, mya, mu, mu, mo, meo, mui, mui, me, me. So here you can very easily distinguish between different patterns, different sounds, so that all these sounds, when you are only listening to them, you will be able to identify not only the complete sound but differentiate between how many letters are there, which are the letters are there, and you will be able to note them, write them down in your notebook. Okay, now let's go ahead and do some exercises based on such sounds. So here we have another combination of sounds of consonant ba with a, ya, o and yo. Ba, bya, bo, byo. Likewise we have bu, 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 bi. Here you can very precisely see how the sound of u and e are changing with ba, bu, bi. Alright, so that is why you have to be very careful about how to correctly comprehend it, understand the sound which is being pronounced here, and as a rule that you remember, the letter yo, which is a vowel, will always be under stress. So the letter yo is always stressed, please remember. Let's go ahead and now pay attention to certain expressions where you will see how do we use neuter gender. Here we have, in place of moi, we have seen tvoi, but here since we are going to give you some example of neuter gender, now you are seeing my yo, tvayo and yug. So in case of my yo, tvayo, where is the udarenya? The stress as per the concept which we had just discussed in the previous part will always be on yo. That is why the pronunciation is my yo, tvayo. My yo means my, tvayo means your. But since it is the neuter gender ending, my yo, tvayo, so you have to use the noun which is of neuter gender. Alright, for example, do we have any example of neuter gender with us? Yes, like IGNOU. So IGNOU means window, my yo, IGNOU, my window, tvayo, IGNOU, your window. So you have to be very careful about that it is the noun which carries the ending and defines the ending of the adjective, not the adjective which defines the ending of the noun. Alright, so whenever you have a noun with the, it will always define the ending of the adjective. For example, let's say brother, sister, mother and father. So brother means brat, moi brat, kharoshi brat, alright. Sister, moja sestra, starshaya sestra. Mother, moja mama or moja mać, okay. Father, moj papa or moj ojciec. So here you can see these are the examples where the noun is defining the ending. And now you already know certain examples of adjectives like kharoshi, большой, starý, новый. Alright, so you can also use these kind of adjective endings in order to define these words, whether they are in form of a noun. Alright, now let's go ahead and let's look at these new words. So we have words like юноша, яблоко, море, поле, здание. If you pay attention to the ending here, for example, юноша, which means young man, it is ending with a, so it belongs to the feminine gender. We will also be discussing about the concept how to identify. So very similar thing which is very easy to identify. If you have any noun with hard ending, it is the masculine gender noun. If it ends with a or ya, it is feminine gender, and if it is ending with o or ye, it is of neuter gender. So we have юноша, but it is young man. Alright, so there are certain exceptions as well. But in case of яблоко, море, поле, здание, all of them belongs to the neuter gender. So моё яблоко, моё море, моё поле, моё здание. So likewise you can also make your sentences, and depending upon, now let's see the meaning of these words. Юноша means young man, яблоко means apple, море means sea, поле means field, здание means building. Alright, now let's go ahead and pay attention to the possessive pronouns in Russian. So possessive pronouns are like мой, моя, моё, мой. So мой means my, okay, masculine. Моя means also my, feminine. Моё also means my, but neuter. And мой, it means plural. So you can say мой брат, my brother, моя мама, my mother, моё окно means my window, and мои for they, plural, you can use мои друзья, my friends, мои родители, my parents, мои книги, my books, мои ручки, my means my pens, and мои карандаши means my pencils. So likewise you have to prepare the plural form of any noun while using these possessive pronouns as per the gender. So in case of moi, maya, mayo, things are clear, but this can be changed into plural in mai, and that form will change into plural also. Alright, okay, now let's go ahead and look at the rest of the possessive pronouns we have. Твой, твоя, твоё, твои means your. Now let's go ahead and look at the next. Наш, наша, наше, наши. Here again, наш means ours, ours. So наш masculine, наша feminine, наше neuter, and наши plural. Alright, now let's go ahead. Here we have wash, washa, washe, and washi, yours. Okay, now let's go ahead. Here you will see certain examples in a very clear format. We have shown that how to use all these different possessive pronouns together. Moi, toi, nash, vash. So it is masculine. In the second line you can see maya, tvaya, nasha, vasha. In the third line, neuter gender, it's mayo, tvayo, nashe, vashe. In the fourth line, it's plural, mai, tvai, nashi, vashi. Okay, let's go ahead and let's look at these important words. Now we are making small sentences so that you can understand the meaning of all these important aspects. Alright, so here you have seen that in this module we have discussed the role of new words and expressions. As we are using these new words and expressions with possessive pronouns and the role of moi, toi, nash, vash, and accordingly as per the gender you have seen moi, maya, mayo, mai. Likewise toi, tvaya, tvayo, tvai, nash, nasha, nashe, nashi, vash, vasha, vashe, vashi. So when we are talking about certain other concepts, you also need to keep in your mind clearly these concepts while making small sentences, because anyway whenever you are going to talk about these possessive pronouns, you will be using as per the gender of the noun. For example, if you have noun like brother, you will use moi brat. Alright, and when you are changing into plural, you have mai. So you will say mai bracha. If you have a noun of feminine gender, for example padruga, so you will say maya padruga, but if you are changing into plural, it would be mai padrugi. So likewise in all cases you have to keep in mind the gender of the noun, and while using the possessive pronouns change accordingly. We will also be discussing about such other concepts with the help of small sentences, and then we will see that how the communication in Russian is very efficient with the help of all these concepts which we have just learned in this module. Thank you.